Akuka Williams Awunimi, senior sports coach at the University of Ghana, in charge of middle and long distance. Calling to coach the national team was a wonderful moment for me, a moment to experience and learn from colleague coaches and the country. I think it was a very wonderful time, and I learned a lot in terms of everything that has to do with this game, both positive and negative. So I think this was my first time. This was my first time being called to handle the national team. No, not really. Not at all. Foreign athletes, other local athletes, they are all the same. In fact, they are very friendly and easy to approach, easy to handle. You just need to understand the individual differences when it comes to handling the athletes. And I think if you get to understand that, you are ready to go and it will be easy to handle. In fact, they were very approaching and then very friendly when it comes to everything. I don't see any problem in handling the foreign athletes. The performance in general, I can say the athletes did very well, even though with the shortest period that we had for training and preparation and all that. I think the athletes put up their best, because I'm not sure the medals we got, everything, many were not even expecting them. And seeing this tells you that if we are able to invest more and then take things serious in the country, we will have a lot of medals and a lot of people to be competing in the higher level for Ghana. Yeah, they did. We had our preparation, especially the local athletes at Cape Coast. That was where everybody was invited to. So from that place we moved to Accra here. I think that was some few weeks, 2 weeks to the competition. That was when we moved to Accra here. And then we were joined by the foreign athletes from those who stay outside the country. So preparation so far wasn't bad. We had challenges, of course, which we know that preparing athletes is not an easy thing. It's not an easy task. You have to face the challenges of injuries, try to manage injuries from in and out. Yes, it was tough, but I can say that the athletes were focused and they were determined. You could see from everybody, no matter the challenges we face in anything, around the company and everything, every athlete was happy. They felt that yes, they have been called upon and they must deliver to the country. So I think it was a very wonderful moment, passing through the preparation to the competition. Definitely it was too short. It was very, very short. And of course, you say it was very short, because most of the athletes, the time they were really picking up into some level, that was when injuries started setting in. And it tells us that we should have had this campaign at least, if not 6 months to the competition, because we are hosting. And since we are hosting, there's no need for that short camp. We should have really called for this campaign preparation early enough. Even if we had, of course, some were students, some are in the different places where they are working, but of course provisions can be made for that in terms of those who can be with their coaches, for their coaches to handle them. Once you know very well that these athletes are potential athletes and they are likely to be called into a national team for such kind of event, there should have been that kind of arrangement early. Even if we can come as a group, as a team at a place, there should have been that kind of preparation to make sure that coaches handle their athletes wherever they are in preparation towards this competition. Of course, you can provide them with what they need, help them to know that, well, we can camp you this, but since we know that you'll be called on this, you have to start keeping yourself on form. The campaign look like, of course, this is where you are now coming to start preparation. Definitely a lot of things had to cut short because of that. So I think next time, which we hope if Ghana is going to host this kind of competition, we should have such arrangements made. And finally, if those athletes have to be called to get that to the camp, then we now do that. I'm sure this will help reduce the level of injuries and the challenges we are facing, because the major challenge was the injuries, and it was because of the period of preparation that caused. In fact, the future of Ghana long distance, I'm sure people don't need to even be told. William Amponsa performance in these African Games, it was something people are still wondering and still thinking, how comes that especially West Africa, in Ghana, be able to make that kind of performance, that kind of wonderful run from him. I see the future of Ghana athletics to be bright, very bright. We have a lot to do. And in terms of long distance, it will come to time where we will not be able to differentiate between a Kenyan, a Jamaican, or whatever with a Ghanaian. Time will come that things will be very tougher for every country, for each country. It depends on your investment, your seriousness, your focus in terms of monitoring the athletes. Let them get what they want. Let them know that what they deserve, it will be for them. And I think we will have something to call on and then to be happy with. Yes. And it also has to do with the coaching to how we have to handle them. I think that has always been my major concern in terms of coaching. How are we starting the athletes? Some are very young, where we have to don't look at just the shortest resource, but we have to look at the long-term benefit and the long-term results for them. And I'm sure if we do that, we will make them grow gradually and then mature into the system where they can perform very well. William did very well when it comes to the long distance, because this is the first ever, I can say, the first ever medal that we are getting from that level in terms of long distance. And I think as a Ghanaian and West African, I should be proud that we have a history to share when it comes to his performance. Yeah. And you could see from the last 2 weeks his performance as the 10K, which tells you that yes, there's a lot of massive improvement. And in fact, we are targeting that we should get a medal when it comes to Olympics or whatever in the long distance. And I am sure, and I know that Williams will be able to do that. And I am hoping that the young will also learn not to give up, learn to focus, learn to be consistent in whatever you do. And I'm sure that we will get the best out of it. Definitely, you cannot talk about athletics performance or sports without talking about facilities, which we have now. Mondo, which is purely for high performance. I think it is now time for coaches to know that you have a call, you have a work to do, because you have the facilities now. What are we going to do now? The facilities are really going to help a lot. It is going to make Ghana, put Ghana where we were not expecting. Of course, many competitions can be organized there because we have these facilities. And you could see from this African game, you can talk about the mentorship and then the inspiration that this African game has brought to our athletes. Seeing these elite athletes running in Ghana here. Maybe if this competition were going to organize outside the country, you see that some will watch on telly, or some will not even have the time to watch. But people, our athletes had the opportunity to watch them face-to-face run. And I'm sure most of them are motivated, they are very inspired, and they are willing to do much. And you could even see it after the African Games. Training, you could see that athletes are serious, they want to do something because they know that one day too, if I'm lucky, I'll be part of this team. If not even in Ghana, I'll be part of it somewhere. So these facilities, I think, is a big win for us, and more especially University of Ghana too as well, because it's a University of Ghana. And I think we have to take opportunity of this and make good use of that. also the major thing have to do with the maintenance of this facility. I think every Ghanaian have to be hungry to see that this facility is kept well. This facility is being put in the right shape. This facility is being maintained to that standard. Yes, so I think we have to really do that. We have to really do that. And this is not for just University of Ghana because it's here. It's for the whole nation. So I plead that even if possible, the government should have money that will support in the maintenance of this facility. I'm sure it will go a long way to help in how we keep it. Yes, so we shouldn't leave it for only a few people saying that, oh, we don't care, this is sports. I know many people say that they see something wrong and they say, oh, I don't have a problem because it's for sports and I'm not into sports. No. The crowd that turned out for this African Games, everybody was surprised. Looking at the number, the huge number of people coming to support Ghanaians. It tells you that Ghanaians love sports. They love athletics, especially. No one ever thought this kind of crowd would be here. The whole stadium was full up, and you could see that yes, Ghanaians really love athletics. The next thing we just have to do is how we have to package ourselves, how we have to market ourselves to make sure that people know that this kind of program is coming. Mostly our short notice organizing competitions are the reason why we may not get people. But whilst we have the time to package ourselves very well, I'm sure that we will always get the number turning out. I will start with the athletes first because I have run before, now a coach. Every athlete have to know what she or he wants and be patient enough to work towards it. That's what you need to know. Don't look at the performance of others and get discouraged. You need to be focused, you need to be consistent, you need to be strong. Do you want to be an athlete? Where do you want to take it? How patient will you be? Even as a human being, they don't give birth to you today and then you grow today. It takes time. And when you are embarking on the athletics journey, it takes the same time. Most of the challenges we face with our athletes, I can say, a lot of them are impatient. They want things to be done fast for them. You see an athlete will come and say, oh, coach, training, you start few times to run away. And it doesn't help. Athletes need to be patient with their coaches because coaches are the drivers. They have the workout, they draw the workout, they put the program together to make sure they help you improve and develop. If you don't have patience for them, they cannot take you to where you want to. So athletes need to be very patient, focus, and then work hard. That should be your aim. And when it comes to coaches, I have to also say the same. Coaches need to be patient with their athletes. They need to be very patient with their athletes and passing them through the stages in development. If you take an athlete who is just young, he doesn't know anything, the person may be strong. The person may be okay to run some races for you, just now start winning. But you have to ask yourself that if this person starts this, the next 2-3 years, where will be the person's future? We should try as much as possible not to put them or specialize them early. The early specialization doesn't help the athletes. They spend about some few years in the system and then they are off because some of them are very young. And when you push them to that level to specialize early, then they are out of the system the same way you push them. And more especially the long distance, I would like to focus on. You will see a lot of kids, small children running marathons. We can't keep on making the same mistake and want to get results. I have run marathon before in my early stages. I can tell you that it has been one of my greatest mistakes, running marathon in that early stage, whether I like it or not, because the time I got to realize, no, this was a mistake, was when I realized that my speed was down. I used to even run 800 meters. 10,000 meters runner who has the speed to run 800 meters. But it got to time, even 1,500, that's 1,500. I could not even stand on it well and know that this is 1,500. Simply because the marathons I did didn't help. Yes, the marathon I did. Even if you want to engage the person in marathon, especially those who are up to that age, there should be limits of running those marathons in a year. But my main focus especially goes to the young. Some are 17, 16, 18, and they are in marathons. If we really want to see the future of Ghana athletes or athletics to that level, we need to be patient with them. The marathons are not helping the young. They fade off the system early because we are giving them the distance that is not good for them. So my plea and my advice, of course, I can't say our advice because we have senior coaches who know the right to do, but I think they need to be patient with them. If you know the right and you are not patient, that means you don't know the right. Because if you know the right thing to do, you need to be patient. If you look at what you will benefit today, you will destroy the athlete's future. No. That's my advice or my plea. I would like to say a very big thank you to all the coaches, homes, the investment and the sacrifice they've done for them. I know they did it for the athletes, and I would like to say a very big thank you for all of them, and to the athletes need to get to learn a lot from them, and I have learned a lot during this call, because handling different athletes from different environments is not an easy thing to do, and I have taken that opportunity to say that I have learned a lot, and I thank all of them. And then to the Ghana Athletics, the president is doing a very wonderful work. I must say that Bawa is doing a very wonderful work, because my major focus is always to see that coaches come together as one. If the coaches come together as one, that is the only way that will help us to help the athletes. We will definitely disagree, agree, but it doesn't stop us. You should be able to work with somebody you think doesn't agree with you most of the times, because you know that you're not there just for yourself, but you're there, number one, for the athletes. If you don't come out to get involved, that means you are even causing harm to the athletes, because your contribution is what will take the athletes to that level. Share, whatever it is. But then you need to be patient and get involved in the work. And I'm sure that if coaches will come together, have a strong front, our athletes, or we will see a different level of athletics in Ghana. That's what we want.
Thank you very much for your time and patience. We'll reach out to you more for more information, and believe this valuable information you have shared will help in the development of Ghana athletics. Thank you.
Thank you very much too for your time.